This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell. News 25, local news you can count on. Today's news is brought to you in part by Dr. George Leeks, Pahrumph's optometrist since 1990, offering full spectrum eye care for children and adults. Call today, 727-8300. News is also brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson. News is also brought to you by Desert View Hospital. You can count on us.
Welcome to News 25. It's Monday, March 28th. Well, the Nye County District Attorney's Office has filed a criminal complaint charging 3 people with murder for their roles in the fentanyl and oxycodone overdose death of a Pahrump woman. Nevada law provides for murder charges when a person is involved in furnishing drugs that cause the death of another. The complaint alleges that the victim met with Charles Coleman of Pahrump and Marissa M. Ogden, Joshua Sanchez Lopez, both of Clark County, who provided the pills that killed this victim. Fentanyl is a synthetic opioid much stronger than heroin and is showing up more and more in cases of overdose and death in Nevada. And when people provide drugs or pills, nobody knows if there's fentanyl in that mix. Chris Arabia said one of the ways to fight the problem and protect our community is to hold the people responsible for that death accountable. Sanchez, Lopez, Ogden, and Coleman face counts of open murder, a Category A felony that could carry a life sentence, and conspiracy to violate the Uniform Controlled Substance Act, a Category C felony. Ogden also faces a gross misdemeanor charge of destroying evidence. As of now, court dates have not yet been set. A weekend altercation at a Pahrump home ends with the arrest of one man who now faces a charge of attempted murder. Brad Francis reports.
Tyler Graham has been booked into the Nye County Detention Center on 1 count of attempted murder. Just before midnight Friday, March 25th, Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies were dispatched to a Pahrump home in reference to a weapons offense. The arrest report says the suspect, identified as Graham, was involved in a verbal altercation with the male victim. The altercation started inside but continued after Graham left the residence. The victim, who remained inside, tells deputies he continued arguing with Graham, who was outside, through an open kitchen window. The man told deputies he saw what he described as a laser pointed at him, then heard a firearm discharge and a bullet go past his ear. Investigators say the trajectory of the round fired from the gun, which traveled upwards through a window screen, shelf, and into the ceiling, was consistent with the victim's account of the incident. According to the arrest report, deputies determined the round fired traveled through the area in which the victim was standing just before the firearm was discharged by Graham. Based on the victim's statements and evidence at the scene, Graham was taken into custody and booked for attempted murder.
Thanks so much, Brad. Well, the search continues for 18-year-old Naomi Irion, who was last seen at a Fernley Walmart store more than 2 weeks ago.
As the search for 18-year-old Naomi Irion continues, authorities now have a suspect in custody. The Lyon County Sheriff's Office says 41-year-old Troy Driver of Fallon is being held on a kidnapping charge. He was arrested Friday. The truck believed to be connected to Irion's disappearance was also located Friday in Fallon and has been impounded as part of the investigation. Authorities, family, and friends continue their search for Irion, and the FBI is now offering a reward of up to $10,000 for information leading to her location. Driver will make his first court appearance Wednesday at noon. The Lyon County Sheriff's Office continues to seek tips from the public as they search for Irion.
Well, Pahrump Valley Farm Rescue is investigating 2 weekend fires. The first happened Saturday afternoon and damaged a home on Pahrump's south end.
Firefighters were dispatched to a home on Lewis Street Saturday afternoon for a reported structure fire. They quickly determined there was a fire underneath the double-wide manufactured home. The fire was quickly contained and extinguished. No injuries are reported. Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies and auxiliary personnel were also on scene to assist with traffic control in the area.
And another fire Saturday night destroys a shed on the south side of Pahrump.
Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue was dispatched to a home on Bryan Street for a report of a fully engulfed shed fire. Firefighters were able to keep the flames from spreading to a nearby home, but the shed is a total loss. No injuries are reported. At this time, it's unknown what sparked the blaze. The Nye County Sheriff's Office was also on scene to assist victims and control access to the area.
And spring has officially begun in southern Nevada. Mojave Max, the most famous southern Nevada desert tortoise, officially emerged from his burrow today at 12:21 p.m. Mojave Max is a live desert tortoise who calls Las Vegas Springs Preserve his home. Like other southern Nevada reptiles, He enters a burrow to brumate, which is the reptilian form of hibernation, every winter and emerges every spring. Mojave Max's emergence marks the beginning of spring-like weather here in southern Nevada. Warmer temperatures, longer daylight hours, and his own internal clock are factors known to contribute to his emergence every year. The latest Max has emerged is April 17th of 2012 at 12:41 p.m. The earliest emergence was February 14th, 2005 at 11:55. News 25 will return with more news right after this break.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on.
Welcome back to News 25. Well, this morning, a single vehicle rollover prompted Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue, Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies, Caltrans, California Highway Patrol, the Inyo County Sheriff's Office, and of course, any other surrounding area responses to this crash that occurred on Highway 127. This all occurred in Death Valley. Luckily, this driver and only occupant only received minor injuries and declined to be transported to local medical facilities. Well, today we continue our profile of local candidates. Sherry Stringer has served as Nye County Assessor for nearly 8 years. Now she's throwing her hat in the ring again, hoping to serve another 4 years as Assessor.
This will be my third term if reelected. You know, basically it's doing the job, knowing the job, learning the job, being able to implement the job.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're mandated by NRS and the Department of Taxation. We handle veterans, widows, widowers, blind exemptions. We send out all of your assessment notices. There's a lot that the assessor's office does that people just don't know about. I've been a citizen of Nye County for 45 years. I'm not going anywhere. I love the town I live in. You know, I love our community. You know, I'm involved in the community. I belong with Rotary. As you know, I've been doing lots of stuff with Rotary up here lately. You know, I'm just community oriented. You know, my children are all here within the state of Nevada. And, you know, I just want to do the best job I can for the taxpayers. I'm not a micromanager. You need to know your job. You're certified. You go out, you do your job. You know, we're human. We all make mistakes. It's ultimately my responsibility. I will take full responsibility. I don't have a problem calling up somebody and saying, you know what, sorry, made a mistake, we'll correct it. Within the assessor's office, as far as anything that's new and upcoming, it's all dictated by legislature and NRS. The biggest thing is making sure that we get out there and we do proper assessment for our taxpayers. I couldn't ask for a better staff. I really couldn't. You know my staff. I mean, they're wonderful. I have nothing but praise for them. So they do a wonderful job. I have 5 employees up in Tonopah, and then I have 9 down here. So we're pretty diverse. April 9th, we will be out in Beatty. They're doing a meet and greet out there from 1 to 3. Also, we'll be at the Wild West Extravaganza, which is in May. Also, we'll be up at Jim Butler Days in the parade over Memorial Day weekend. And I believe there's one more, but they haven't nailed down a date on that yet. But you can always call my office, 775-751-7060. I'm there Monday through Thursday, 7 to 5:30. Have open door policy. Stop in. You have questions about your assessment, please stop in, see your appraiser, see myself. We have nothing to hide. We want to make sure that you're educated and you understand how your assessment works.
Well, to learn more about Stringer's campaign for Nye County Assessor, you can visit her Facebook page at Sherry Stringer. Sherry is spelled Sheree. Well, whether you're planning a vacation or staycation, spring break is a great time to break your kids away from their screens and get moving, especially with childhood obesity on the rise.
One of the big trends that I noticed during the pandemic was a lot of the weight, the growth charts changed drastically. And that is partially because people were inside, they weren't able to do their sports and their normal activities.
Dr. Gina Robinson is a pediatrician with Cleveland Clinic Children's. She says getting kids off their screens and outside gets them moving, and a body in motion tends to want to stay in motion. If your child already enjoys riding their bike or scooter, it's a great time to dust those off again. Just be sure they wear a helmet. She also recommends getting out of your comfort zone and trying new things to encourage imagination and creativity, like going for a hike, outdoor scavenger hunts, or trying a new park or playground. Research suggests spending time in nature may reduce stress too.
Feeling the sun just makes you feel better. Vitamin D, we all know, is important, and having sunlight helps us to produce our own natural vitamin D supply. I always feel better when I'm getting some fresh air. I think it makes you feel energized, it makes you feel alive, it makes you feel motivated.
Dr. Robinson says the key to keeping kids off screens is to make an activity schedule and stick to it. She reminds us kids over age 2 should only have 2 hours or less of screen time per day.
Well, 5 bands performed in front of a panel of industry judges at the City of Henderson's Battle of the Bands Saturday night. The top 3 acts walked away with cash prizes and a chance to perform at the City of Henderson's highly popular car show, Hot Rod Days.
Taking third place in this year's Battle of the Bands is Nova Babies. Formed in 2018 in downtown Las Vegas, Nova Babies' album Out for Blood debuted in late 2020. The record introduced studio versions of crowd favorites such as Goodbye Blondie, Kids with Bills, and Fell in Love with a Vampire. They walked away with a $250 prize. Sci-fi hard rock band from Las Vegas, Shatter the Moon, took second place. Their show, lyrics, and music are all inclusive to a large narrative that makes it fun to create as well as listen to. The band creates and plays music with an energy for all to enjoy. Shatter the Moon won $500. And the big winner of the night was the Dollheads. The rock band is comprised of 3 young siblings, Angela, Samantha, and Austin. They've been playing for almost 5 years and have performed at school and community events. They released a couple of their original songs earlier this year. The Dollheads say they're inspired by the music of the Ramones, Green Day, Foo Fighters, and The Offspring. The Dollheads took home a $1,000 grand prize and won the opportunity to perform at this year's Hot Rod Days.
Congratulations, everyone. When we return, we'll have your Save a Pet.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on.
Well, for this Monday edition of Save a Pet, we head back out to Desert Haven Animal Society. That's where we find Darby O'Donnell Westerman, who's hanging out with Greta.
Today's Save a Pet segment is made possible by Realty Executives in Action. Put the team at Realty Executives in action for you.
Hi, I'm Darby here at Desert Haven Animal Society, and today we are joined with Greta. Greta is this incredibly adorable brindle-colored bulldog. So cute. She's about 4 years old. She is what I would call a medium dog, where she's too big to be a small, too small to be a medium. She is chunky and funky and just so excited for life. She has quite a lot of energy and it has a lot of muscle mass on her. So even though she is a smaller dog, she does have a very big pull when you actually have her on the leash. Like most bulldogs, she does have some allergies, which is pretty common. Nothing that a little bit of allergy medicine can't go and help though. So if you want to come and see Greta or any of her friends here at Desert Haven Animal Society, you can give them a call, 775-751-7020, or you can look them up on their Facebook page at Desert Haven Animal Society. And just a reminder, coming April, Desert Haven will be open 7 days a week for adoptions.
She's a chunky monkey. I like her so much. Well, a new study shows that there's been massive learning loss in math across the U.S. due to the pandemic. The developer of a widely used online math platform explains why this is very concerning data and talks about what she's doing to get kids caught back up. Kim Martinez reports.
The most unfortunate thing that can happen over time if you're behind in math is that's going to be correlated to not completing high school or not completing college.
Shalini Sharma knows how dire of a situation this is. She's the co-founder and CEO of a digital math platform known as Zern. Throughout the pandemic, she says she's seen big swings in learning levels, and at the start of the year, there was another large gap between students at different socioeconomic levels.
So we see low-income schools start to diverge with children not logging in, not participating, not on Zearn, and high-income students doing the same amount or more Zearn.
What concerns Sharma the most is making up for what's been lost. 1 in 4 students in this country use Zearn, some independently and others in their classrooms. The learning gap data she's reporting is significant. Her solution is to commit to additional time learning through tutoring and summer school, but she says that will only work if the time is productive.
We have to be honest with ourselves, which is that extended time has to be programmed and used well.
So how does Zearn work?
We're obsessed with the idea that math can make sense and that all kids are math kids. If we teach math to make sense, we make math concrete. So we use pictures and concrete and real context so that math makes sense.
This mom has 3 students in public school using Zearn. She's a huge advocate.
I really like Zearn because for the individual child, it has some really awesome algorithm to help your child get over their little hump. And it kind of tailors how they're going to teach you. And it helps your kid feel confident. Even if they come in not liking it, they come out actually finding some joy in this specific subject. And it's a lot of fun.
Zearn creators say another advantage is their ability to constantly update math programs, unlike a textbook.
Think about, a textbook gets shipped out to a classroom and it can never be improved again. That's the textbook you work with. Whereas the Zearn software platform is continuously updating and improving. As we see students struggle, we go in and we fix the lessons and we make them clearer and better.
Right now, Zearn is offered for students in K through 5, with more grades under development. Kim Martinez reporting.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Well, I know the wind was picking up a while ago. Looks like it brought in some clouds. John's going to tell us what's in store for this week right after the break.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios. It's lovely to see you on a Monday. And if you're in Fernley, Fallon, Carson City, I'm feeling sad for you. Look, your temperatures are lovely in the mid-50s, but boy, you got some rain, you got wind, we got snow. Yes, sir and ma'am. As we head farther south down Tonopah, 55 degrees, Goldfield 56, Beatty up to 63. Now there's some hope. Amarillo at 69. So often the hot spot. Not today. Las Vegas winter chicken dinner at 77 degrees. But all of us are under a wind advisory, and that wind and the rain we're experiencing right now be gone by about 10 o'clock tonight. Don't worry about it. Out in Death Valley was 79. That was down from triple digits yesterday. And here in the paradise of Pahrump, we're at 61 degrees currently and feeling it. 72 was our high a little bit earlier, and those winds are still kicking around pretty good out of the south-southwest, 20 miles per hour. Sun rose this morning in all its glory and hope and promise for a blustery, windy day. Boy, did it deliver at 6:36. And we'll see sunset this evening at 7:02. Look forward to that. And a low tonight of about 45. Looking forward to about 10 o'clock when the wind and the rain stop, and we can just enjoy the less dusty desert heat we've got coming tomorrow and for the rest of the week. Because look at this, wow, all the way up to the 80s by this weekend. Clouds coming and going. The winds will stay mostly to the single and barely double digits throughout the week. But look at Friday and Saturday, clear skies, beautiful night to go out and enjoy some outdoor rock and roll at the Pahrump Music Festival. Nice outdoor venue, and it'll be some stellar weather for it. So make some plans. Back to the desk. Here's Deanna.
All right. Well, there is an opportunity if you'd like to find out about anything to do with becoming an EMT. Beatty has some volunteers positions there, and this is a great opportunity to have some training as well. They are looking for volunteers to help with the Beatty Volunteer ambulance. And if you would like to give them a call, you can call Allison Henderson, 702-370-9353, or Mike Harmon at 702-375-8817. You can become part of a great team, and what an opportunity. Thanks so much for the town of Beatty to send us that information. If you missed any of it, you can find it on our KPVM TV Facebook page. We hope you had a wonderful day. We hope you have a wonderful evening. We'll see you back here tomorrow. I'm Deanne O'Donnell. Good night.